We have just arrived. We're off to see some salamanders. And before we talk about these incredible little amphibians, this is your puppy pit stop. Do hit like and subscribe. And if you're as excited as we are to share about these amazing little animals and Sokah, be sure to follow along, hit that like and subscribe button, and we hope to see you in future videos. Without further ado, shall we continue, Sokah? Let's continue on to the tiger salamanders. Here we are pulling in to this beautiful sanctuary, the Kerry Wood Nature Centre. So we made our way in through the doors and headed towards the discovery room. First thing first, I wanted to just show a little bit of the discovery room. Lots of cool taxidermy animals, some footprints, skulls, lots of cool nature stuff. And these are the enclosures. This is a quick close-up of Goliath, one of the tiger salamanders, some of the garter snakes in the top enclosure, more cool taxidermy animals, and a big wasp nest. Over by the windows, though, there was the big rack from the moose, some cool eggs of different birds, some skulls, pine cones, lots of amazing little things, a stunning taxidermy hawk, some cool footprints, and some other birds.
That's perfect. Yeah, you can see the skeleton. That's wild, especially the turtle and tortoises.
This is interesting too.
Oh yeah, how along their lungs, yeah.
Really far.
Oh yeah, and this is a favorite of mine, is a sand viper. They're super cute. They don't get really big and they bury into sand. Oh my gosh.
May the best man win. Oh no, they're fighting. Two males are fighting.
That's hilarious. The throat sacs. Oh, and then the different eggs.
So enough of the room, enough of all of the other little details. Time to talk about the amazing little salamanders. So first thing first, I found out these guys are called Western Tiger Salamanders. And especially here in southern Alberta in Canada, these guys are quite popular. And they actually help the ecosystem with fishless ponds and lakes. So they're actually quite the predators that help maintain an ecosystem if a pond or a lake does not have any fish in it. Fish, I found out, are always going to be a top predator, but these little salamanders help keep that ecosystem in check if there are no fish in a pond or lake for whatever reason. So they are very important to our natural ecosystems. So here I am holding one of these tiger salamanders. This guy's name was Goliath, and he was quite the fat chongster. They eat really good. The wildlife sanctuary will feed them a variety of insects, but crickets and mealworms are some of their favorites. In the wild, though, tiger salamanders can eat a variety of things. They're quite the opportunistic eaters, and this can include other invertebrates, worms or insects, and they can also feed on other amphibians. Unfortunately, this can make them cannibalistic. It's quite funny to think that something that cute can be that vicious and a top predator when fish are out of the equation. Not only are they a top predator, but they also secrete a milky poison. So you always want to wash your hands after holding one of these guys, which I was running off to do in this clip. Not only that, you want to make sure to wash your hands before holding them because their skin can absorb anything that you have touched on your hands. For example, lotion or oils, and that can be very damaging to them. So these guys can actually be a good indicator if an ecosystem is not doing well. One of the things I found out that we can do to help protect these guys in their environment is to actually protect our natural ponds and wetlands from household products. This could be stuff you're using to wash your car with, or pesticides or herbicides, or just other chemicals. And they can also be, once again, that indicator of an ecosystem not being so good. So you do want to be careful what you're doing to the environment, because their skin will absorb all of that. So they're a really great way of making sure that your area is actually good and healthy. Another thing to just note there, oh my goodness, he was jumping. He was thinking there was food. This is Shadow that she brought out. But another thing to note is that spray bottle has distilled water in it, because you don't want to use chlorinated water from the tap on these little amphibians, because once again, their skin will absorb that. And chlorine, just like on fish, is also very harmful on amphibian skin. The tiger salamander's life cycle is actually pretty cool. The females take about 3 to 5 years to get to maturity, and then they will lay their jelly-like eggs in water, and they can lay up to 100 to like 5,000 eggs, I think it was. It was a lot of eggs. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks for these eggs to hatch into their aquatic larvae form. So in this form, they actually look similar to oxalotls with those adorable frilly gills. And similar to frogs, they slowly get their legs, and it takes them about 3 to 4 months, depending on the water conditions and how much food is available to them, to reach full maturity. And it only takes males 1 to 2 years to reach that full maturity, whereas for females, it does take a bit longer at that 3 to 5 mark. A fact that I thought was absolutely wild is that tiger salamanders can actually choose to not become fully terrestrial. They can stay at that adorable gill stage. This means, just like oxalotls, they can stay fully aquatic for the rest of their lives. And I'm totally gonna butcher the name for what this is called, where they decide to just stay in this aquatic stage, but it's called neoteny. Neoteny. I'll put it up on the screen, neoteny. And it's actually more common, though, for them to do this when the terrestrial habitat is unsuitable or the breeding water body is permanent. So they can do it for a variety of reasons, and they can basically choose to stay young and cute for the rest of their lives, which is quite interesting. And I guess oxalotls they stay in that stage their whole life. And yeah, it was quite the interesting fact to find out. So that's pretty wild that they can choose to do that. I guess depending on if that's what the situation requires. But yeah, they can become just that fully aquatic stage. It was very cool. And speaking of age, Shadow and Goliath, the 2 tiger salamanders we got the chance to interact with today, they're about 8 years old. They can typically live between 10 to 15 years in the wild, but in captivity, it can be even longer, and that can go up to 25 years. Their typical lifespan is around 15 years, but they can live a good long life if the conditions permit it. So these guys, in the grand scheme of things, are still pretty young, and they have a chance to live a lot longer. I had no idea a salamander could live up to 20 or 25 years. For this clip, I am starting it out with one big word: biofluorescence. I had no idea that lots of amphibians, including salamanders, have this biofluorescence. It means that they glow to certain wavelengths of light, particularly blue light. As for why these salamanders have biofluorescence, biofluorescence, it's actually still being researched, but a couple ideas are for communication. A lot of animals have this to communicate. Another reason is for camouflage. And lastly, it can be for other ecological roles like foraging or even navigation. So a lot of cool reasons for this salamander to have biofluorescence. I think if the room had been a bit darker, it would have been easier to see in the video. But apparently the yellow spots on their bodies will often glow under this blue light. And oftentimes, the colors that will be shown are a green or yellow. And just for a better view of kind of showing this biofluorescence coloring, I'll actually have a couple photos up here on screen so you can get a good look at that. It's so beautiful. They kind of look like they're painted. I do think, though, that this biofluorescence helps with a type of communication because I recently found out, too, salamanders don't actually produce vocalizations like frogs, and they actually primarily communicate with each other by touch. So part of that biofluorescence color could help with that communicating. On top of also communicating with other salamanders, what better thing to discuss than what the heck do these guys do in winter time? Because we get a lot of snow here in southern Alberta, and our winters can be pretty cold. The secret to this is it all revolves around their underground burrows, which apparently they dig out themselves, and they can go a couple feet underground. So quite the big burrows they will happily make for themselves. When spring rolls around, these little guys come out of their hidey holes, their little burrows that they make to come out to breed. And when spring and summertime breeding is over, so when their breeding season comes to an end, they make their way back to their burrows where they will hibernate over the winter time. And it's kind of funny that it's called migration because they don't actually go super far migration-wise. It's usually a couple hundred feet. But I guess since they're going from one place to another, that's technically still migration for these little guys. Pretty amazing. Last but not least, a final fact to discuss about these guys is that we found out they are considered special concern. So they're not severely endangered, but they're definitely along those lines. Unfortunately, a few reasons for this can be from some habitat lost, introduced fish into some of these areas and bodies of water. The fish will always, unfortunately, come up on top, and it can make it really hard for the salamanders to thrive. Pollution, of course, and apparently road mortality. They like to cross roads to get to their breeding areas when they do their migration. So unfortunately, there's a couple things. So just trying to do our best to care for these guys and to do what we can to help their environment so that they can continue to thrive is pretty important. In conclusion, though, we had such a great time learning about these guys. I feel like there's so many more facts I could share, but these are just some of the ones that I found out and learned about and was super excited to share with you guys. Also, not to mention, the little garter snake loved to bask on the rock. It was super adorable, but yeah, I couldn't believe how much I learned about these amazing tiger salamanders, and I've even seen them around our area with lots of the wetlands and ponds we have. So amazing little animals, and I look forward to seeing them around town. It was super wonderful getting to hang out with Goliath and Shadow, these two amazing tiger salamanders, and getting to see these little garter snakes as well. Now to continue the incredible adventure, though, of this amazing wildlife sanctuary.
Oh wow, hon, look at the cougar. This big cat. Oh, look, a glimpse into our river's hidden world. A little aquarium. That's beautiful. Aspen, parkland, story setting.
Our Old Birds by Daniel.
That's cool. 'Cause this is quite the thing. Oh, it's the salamander. Some of the fossils. Can you guess what these plants looked like before they became fossils? Oh no, they're taking over. I had seen a salamander there when we came in, and here they're taking over the ecosystem. They're the cause of the rapid change. Just kidding. Oh, wild. They're so cute. Some are super big, others are small. Oh, and they even have the names too.
That looks like a cozy one in the branches there.
What bird nest would you want to do?
The tree swallow. They go
Oh, cozy.
the guy inside that business is just
He's just chaos. Cozy chaos. And then look at this beautiful owl though. Oh, and then northern oracle. Look at that thing.
Oh wow.
That's like a basket. They're little engineers. This is a dragonfly life cycle. So you can see the eggs, the larvae stage, and then they emerge into a beautiful dragonfly. Moose tracks? Oh, wow.
That was a pretty big hand, eh?
Yeah.
That's a big moose track.
That's a
And then
really big
greater
moose
blue,
track.
Greater blue heron.
Oh,
And then
wow.
coyotes.
Oh, underwater nursery. Look, it's like you're going into a muskrat nest. Ooh, what's this? Tilt the leveler to catch the sediment. Oh, riverbank shrubs help to keep the river in check so that it doesn't just erode away all of the dirt. Stems, branches, sediment, and water. Oh no, look. Dun, dun, dun. It's another salamander. I just realized these are some of our local trees. This is white spruce, paper birch, tamarack. So just all the different logs and how they look. And then of course he's showing that the tree isn't healthy. Oh wow, and here we are, the sanctuary. Time for a little adventure. Do you see the salamanders? Came all the way from down there and walked over here.
Oh, red-winged blackbird.
There's some beautiful birds around here. Oh, you're right. There is a beaver lodge. The Canadian geese are on top of the beavers area. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are invading their space of the beavers. Canadian geese don't care though. Almost back to the sanctuary. It's been a beautiful little walk though. Definitely worth it. That was super fun. We're gonna make our way back home and we'll see you guys then. And we are back home. What a fun day it has been discovering all about the Western Tiger Salamanders, such an amazing little amphibian and so crucial to our environment. So maybe go on a salamander hunt, learn about the amphibians in your area, and thanks for tagging along on today's adventure. Right, Sokah? Thanks for watching, everybody. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Meow.